everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my September palette recap. In these videos that I like to do monthly, I just show you the palettes that I used and all of the eye looks. So some of these are eye looks I wore while filming YouTube videos. Some of these were just looks that I wore to work. This is just the makeup that I wear on an everyday basis. So I like to do this so I can keep track of the different palettes that I'm using. I have a large collection, over 100 palettes, and I want to make sure that I'm rotating through my collection. So I think this is just fun to do. There were about 5 looks though this month that I was very busy on those days, and I was out of town for a few days. And I did wear makeup, but I didn't have time to take a picture of the makeup. So this isn't quite all the looks from the last month. About 5 are missing, but that is okay. So yeah, stay tuned if you like Shop My Stash videos and Project Pan videos. I do a lot of that on my channel. I upload 4 videos a week, and I did film this makeup look. If you do want to see that, I will link it in the cards and in the description box. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, first up, I want to talk about these Super Shock shadows. I did get these in PR from Colourpop, and I did a look where I kind of layered these 2 shades together, and I thought it was very, very pretty. I think I did put a little bit of like a matte brown in the crease from some palette, who knows. This is the shade 6 AM, very pretty like orangey shade. I think I put that one on top, and then underneath it, I had this gorgeous one called DGAF. Very sparkly, and I do feel like you can kind of see that in the picture. I really, really like these. I think they are beautiful, and yeah, I enjoyed how that turned out. Now, if you saw my Shop My Stash, you would know that the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette was in my Shop My Stash. I got so much use out of it, and I've already used it in October as well. I love this palette so much now. The shimmers, that is. I don't love the mattes. So I did do a look with this palette entirely, and I did film that look, so you can check that one out. I'm trying to think how many of these other looks I filmed. At least one other of these looks I did film in this last month. And I do like how it turned out, but I struggled with the mattes. However, I did several other looks where I just used like 1 or 2 of these as topper shades. And that's how I think this palette really, really excels. It is gorgeous. And yeah, I'm really loving it. I think that the shimmers are a truly unique formula. I don't have anything else like that in my collection. And so one look that I really enjoyed, I used this Charlotte Tilbury quad in Bella Sophia, and I used one of the shades from the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes just kind of like on top for some extra shimmer, and I thought it was such a beautiful bronzy look. I really like this one. This is definitely one of my favorite looks from the last month, and I'm glad that I got some use out of this quad. This is in my Project 10 usage for a goal, and I mostly used it, like I would use this as an inner corner or this one on the lower lash line, but the look I did completely with this quad and then that Urban Decay palette I think is just gorgeous. So really liked that. I'm happy that I used the quad because I don't get enough use out of that quad. All right, the Sigma Untamed palette, one of my favorites. And I think I may have used this one a few different times, but my absolute favorite look was using this green shade all over the lid. It is stunning. You're gonna see several green shades in September. That was like a bit of a theme for me. I just apparently wanted to wear a lot of green eyeshadow because when I was looking back at these pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, I did so many looks that look very identical to each other, but they're using different palettes, I swear. So this is one of the several green looks of the month, but I loved it, and this is definitely one of my favorite palettes in my collection. And then another green look I did was using my Coastal Scents Single Shadows. I am trying to do at least one look a month using single shadows because I have such good single shadows in my collection and I just don't get enough use out of them. And I still love my Coastal Scents Hot Pots. This brand doesn't even exist anymore, but they're beautiful. The formula is great. These are some of the oldest makeup products in my collection. I bought these between the years of like 2015 and 2018 is like when I amassed my collection mostly. But yeah, some of these are as old as 2015, but they're still working very well. Here's a palette that I have also used in October so far, and that is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette. I love this one. I actually really enjoy this for fall, and the look I did turned out really nicely using this shade on the lid and then some of these mattes in the outer corner and crease. I think it's really beautiful. I have to say I am impressed with this palette. I haven't bought anything from Morphe in a really long time, but I still really enjoy that one. And then I also used the Persona Identity 2 palette. And I did one look where I kind of combined it with a different palette, and right now I'm trying to remember which one that was. But it was another green look. And I kind of combined these two kind of on the inner part of the lid, and it was really, really pretty. I did use this palette several other times, just like using like this matte in the crease, or I would do this color on the inner corner. This one on the lower lash line. So I definitely tend to pull for this palette for some of those like simple parts of an eye look that those shades may not be in every palette. Not every palette I own has a color that works on the inner corner, which is totally fine with me because that would be a waste if they all did, honestly. So I like to reach into other palettes sometimes for like the lower lash line and that sort of thing. Okay, I also use the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, and wow, is this a good one or what? I really enjoyed this look quite a bit. These metallics are stunning, and I'm pretty sure I showed a very similar eyeshadow look last month with this palette, or maybe it was the month before, but it's kind of like a go-to when I use this palette. I just really enjoy those shades, and they're really, really pretty, so that is a good one. I actually used the Biba palette several times. I don't think I have pictures of all of the times that I used it, but I loved it so much. I did mention this in a recent favorites video. And one makeup look that I really, really liked, it was so simple. I just put this on all over the lid and then these like lighter browns in the crease. That was it. So easy, very, very quick, but absolutely beautiful. And I did use some of these other shades as well. This is such a good palette. This is one of her more expensive palettes, but I really like it. I mean, I kind of wish it was in that midi size because it'd be the same amount of eyeshadows, but it would cost like half the price, but it's fine. I bought that at the VIB sale last year, and it's been well worth it for me because I really love it. Okay, more green eyeshadow. The Smitten in Switzerland palette. This is another palette. I had a usage goal in a project pan. So I also used kind of several other shades here and there. One look is using these three here. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really love that one. And then I did do a green look with these, and I did use this several other times. Again, I don't think I have any other pictures, but this is such a good palette. The color story is amazing. The quality, fantastic. Oh, this one I bought at TJ Maxx or Marshall's earlier this year for only $7. Oh my gosh, this one is so good. I wish it was still around, but yeah, that is a good one. Okay, and then I did use the Metropolis palette, and then this makeup I did film for YouTube, so you can check that video out. This palette is gorgeous. I mean, it's like a fall dream. I love it so much. This is getting older in my collection. This palette came out, I think, in 2018, which is kind of crazy to think about. Time flies, I guess. But this palette is still beautiful, and this is actually one of my favorite palettes in my whole collection, so that's pretty exciting. Oh, I also have a photo with the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2, and I forgot to grab it. It's like over there, but I'll show you the picture on the screen. Really enjoyed that one as well. The Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. I think I used this one twice. I really like this palette. I'm very happy that I purchased this a few months ago. I think it is very, very pretty. and I really like the quality. The shimmers are great. The mattes are great. It's more of a thin formula on the mattes, but I like the variety. This also is a good fall palette, so I think I should pull this out in October too, because this one is very, very lovely. And then 2 left. Okay, so Zendo. This was also in my Shop My Stash. If you saw that, I showed these looks there as well. I love this one so much. I love the variety, and I actually was wearing these shades over here in some videos from last week, and I love how that turned out. This is a very beautiful color story. I feel like a lot of people didn't like this one from Natasha Denona, but I think it's really, really pretty. And I did a couple very simple looks where I just kind of used like this matte brown all over the lid and the crease, just kind of like in a hurry. I do that sometimes. I mention that like every month in these videos, that some days when I am just like in a hurry, I only have 10 minutes to get ready, I will just grab like 1 or 2 shades and put them all over the lid and in the crease and then call it done. So yeah, but I really enjoyed Zendo. I'm glad I got use out of that one. And then the last one is the Colourpop Orchid You Not. This is so stunning. I need to use this one more. It's very like purpley, but it's smoky. It's very, very gorgeous. And this one doesn't have any pressed glitters. I think this is one of the best 9 pans from Colourpop. And yeah, I really, really enjoy this color story. I think it is stunning. So yeah, those are the pictures of my makeup from the last month. As I mentioned, there were about 5 other looks that I did, but I just didn't have time to take pictures. So hopefully I'll do a better job in October with that. But I really enjoy doing this. I have so many palettes and I want to get good use out of them. It's just, you know, this is a fun thing for me to do. And I like to also kind of like keep a list and be like, oh, these are the palettes I've used in the last month. And then it kind of gives me ideas for palettes that maybe I haven't used that I should pull out for the following month. So that is it for this video. Like I said, I filmed this makeup look. You can check that out. I'll link it in the cards. And if you want to see other eyeshadow palette videos, check out my eyeshadow palette playlist because I have a lot there. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.